Breaking news now, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died. TMZ is reporting medics were called to his home in Clearwater, Florida, at his Clearwater, Florida home early this morning for a cardiac arrest call. Hulk Hogan is known for helping to transform professional wrestling into a family sport. The exact cause of death has not been released. He was 71 years old.
Acclaimed filmmaker Spike Lee has just added another feather to his cap. Benin's president appointing Lee and his wife as thematic ambassadors to the Afro-descendant diaspora in the United States. The couple will be tasked with promoting the Beninese government's programs and initiatives focused on reconnecting Afro-descendants with their roots in Benin through culture, history, and heritage. Spike Lee, best known for directing Malcolm X and serving as president of the Cannes Film Festival, is also a long-standing advocate for Black communities worldwide. In a related effort, Benin has launched a new online portal for Afro-descendants to apply for Beninese nationality. Hundreds have already applied, including Tonya Lee.
The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee has banned transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. The committee put out a 27-page document outlining the changes. They never mentioned the word transgender, but said, quote, "The USOPC will continue to collaborate with various stakeholders with oversight responsibilities, e.g. IOC, IPC, NGBS, to ensure that women have a fair and safe competition environment consistent with Executive Order 14201 and the Ted Stevens Olympic Amateur Sports Act." That executive order is President Trump's order called the No Men in Women's Sports Executive Order. This new rule will put the committee in compliance with that executive order. A USOPC official told the New York Times that the USOPC is a federally chartered organization and they have an obligation to comply with federal expectations. Just last month, the International Olympic Committee announced a working group to, quote, protect the female category.
Amazon has shut its artificial intelligence lab in Shanghai. The company has cited growing geopolitical tensions between the United States and China as the reason behind the move. Now, Amazon is the third big tech enterprise after Microsoft and IBM to pare back its R&D operations in China. And according to the Financial Times, the move was confirmed by Wang Minjie, a senior scientist at the AI lab, in a post on Chinese social media platform WeChat. He said that his team was being dissolved due to strategic adjustments amidst the US-China tensions. Now, Amazon's AI lab was set up in 2018 by Amazon Web Services. Over the years, the team has published over 10 research papers, and it has built a neural network framework that generated nearly about $1 billion in terms of sales for the company. Now, Amazon employed over 10,000 people in China as of 2022, including over 1,000 working under Amazon Web Services. And this comes amidst a larger trend amongst the big tech firms. IBM has cut more than 1,000 R&D jobs in China last year, and Microsoft recently offered to relocate hundreds of its AI staff out of China. Now, Amazon has also been laying off workers globally. Last month, CEO Andy Jassy warned that AI integration will result in job cuts. A spokesperson from Amazon Web Services said that the decision was part of a strategy to invest, hire and optimize resources.
Fighting, airstrikes and cholera. The civil war in Sudan has taken a high toll on the country's population. The Ministry of Health now reported on Tuesday that 2,302 people had died from cholera in the past year. In July 2024, a cholera epidemic broke out and has been spreading ever since. 91,034 cholera cases have been recorded so far, according to data from Sudan's health ministry. In the past week, more than 1,000 new cases were documented, with the highest number of infections in Tawila locality in North Darfur. The civil war has made containing the spread of diseases an almost impossible task. Much of the country's healthcare system has collapsed, with hospitals often the target of aerial attacks. At the end of May, UNICEF warned that 1 million children in Khartoum state were at risk of being infected with cholera, as the disease continued to spread in the area.
At least 48 people are reportedly dead after a passenger plane crashed in Russia's Far East, and according to the Russian authorities, 42 passengers, including 5 children and 6 crew members, were on board. The burning wreckage of the Angara Airlines flight was spotted on the ground by a helicopter, and the officials say the preliminary examination indicates that there are no survivors who've been left.
Russian emergency ministry arrived at the site of the plane crash. After preliminary examination, there are no survivors at the site of the crash.
Now, the Russian President Vladimir Putin held a minute of silence in honor of the victims of plane crash during the meeting of the development of the Russian submarine navy.
Dear colleagues, before we begin our work, I would like to say, and you know about this, today in the Amur region there was a civil aircraft crash. Dozens of people died. And I want to express words of sincere sympathy and condolences to the relatives, friends, all the families of those killed in this air crash.
Now, the aircraft reportedly lost contact with air traffic control while approaching the remote town of Tinder, located in the Amur region near the Chinese border. Now, these are some of the images from the scene showing the plane crash in a densely forested area with smoke rising from the site. The aircraft, an Antonov 24, was operated by Angara, a Siberia-based airline. And following the incident, the Russian authorities have formed a commission to handle the aftermath and have announced an investigation into the cause of the crash. While pilot error during landing in poor conditions or technical malfunction is being considered as a possible cause.
We know for sure that the flight crew, technical personnel, and flight attendant lived in the Irkutsk region. They are Irkutsk residents. We need today to meet with the relatives through the Ministry of Social Development, carry out a full range of the appropriate measures in the case of deaths.
Now, the Antonov 24 has been nicknamed the Flying Tractors because the Russian aviation industry regards them as dependable workhorses. These aircraft are well suited for the severe conditions of Siberia, and they are capable of operating in sub-zero temperatures and landing without the need for conventional runways. However, reports have suggested that since the year 2000, AN-245 aircraft have had about 60 mishaps. Pilots and industry experts report that maintaining these aircraft has become more expensive because Western sanctions on Russia, and also imposed due to its war in Ukraine, have restricted investments and access to spare parts.
It could mark a significant step towards rebuilding Syria's war-battered economy. Damascus and Riyadh announcing dozens of investment agreements touching a wide range of sectors spanning real estate, telecommunications and finance. The deal inked at the Syrian-Saudi Investment Forum is expected to generate billions of dollars and tens of thousands of jobs. During this forum, we will sign 47 agreements and memoranda of understanding with a total estimated value of around 24 billion Saudi riyals. Saudi Arabia has emerged as a key backer of Syria's interim government, led by former rebel commander President al-Shara, following the swift fall of Bashar al-Assad. But Syria faces enormous challenges. The UN estimated in 2017 that post-war reconstruction would cost at least $250 billion, highlighting the steep road ahead.
Gaza lies in ruins beneath the weight of unrelenting Israeli bombardment, and the people of Gaza gripped by darkness, displacement, and man-made starvation. I say this because there's a blockade on aid into the Palestinian enclave. According to a letter signed by 109 agencies, including the Amnesty International, which says that the Israeli government is blocking humanitarian organizations from distributing life-saving aid in Gaza. The hunger crisis is worsening in Gaza with each passing day. And these are the images of Gazans carrying sacks of wheat after crowds seized wheat trucks in Khan Yunis. The struggle to get wheat and water remains to be the biggest challenge. People have to walk miles for food and water.
We encountered death to bring it. Look at our faces. This is the livelihood of our children. We shall feed our children even if we die. Even if we die, we shall feed our children.
Today is day 14 without any flour. Thank God. My dear son, I'm coming to you now, bringing flour with me. I swear I bid farewell to my son before setting out, and by God's grace, he has provided for me for the sake of my children.
Palestinians are scrambling for food at a soup kitchen in Gaza City. The latest starvation deaths from malnutrition since Israel's war began in October 2023 is at 113, most of them in recent weeks. The Palestinian health authorities say that at least 56 Palestinians, including 10 aid seekers, have been killed in Israeli fire in the last 24 hours.
Isn't it shameful? We are starving enough and enough. I came to get breakfast for my children. I want breakfast for my children. 22 people and wounded people for me to take care of, in addition to those who are orphaned. Enough orphans, enough what happened to us.
Majority of children have died out of starvation in Gaza. The World Health Organization says 21 children under the age of 5 are among those who died of malnutrition so far this year. Israel, which cut off all supplies to Gaza from the start of March and reopened it with new restrictions in May, says that it is committed to allowing in aid but must control it to prevent it from being diverted by Hamas militants. It says that it has let in enough food for Gaza's 2.2 million people over the course of the war. And Israel blames the United Nations for being slow to deliver it. And the UN, on the other hand, says that it is operating as effectively as possible under conditions imposed by Israel.
Israel believes in humanitarian work. We are committed to helping civilians, to protecting innocents, and to ensuring aid reaches those who need it. But we will not work with organizations that have chosen politics over principles.
The fact Netanyahu and his government are actively pursuing transforming Gaza into a land without a people through genocide and ethnic cleansing under the unconvincing disguise of voluntary migration has only been made possible by the impunity they enjoy.
Pressure is mounting for a breakthrough to end almost the Gaza war that has triggered a humanitarian catastrophe. In the latest, the European Union has threatened consequences for Israel if Gaza aid does not improve. Hamas says it has responded to an Israeli proposal for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. This as mediators have been shuttling between Israeli and Hamas negotiators in Qatar for more than 2 weeks now. But the indirect talks have so far failed to yield any kind of result or elusive truce.
And violent clashes are growing along the border between Thailand and Cambodia. Reports say at least 12 Thai civilians are dead in the attacks over a long-standing border dispute. The Thai army says new video shows fires burning at a gas station and convenience store after the area was attacked by Cambodian weapons. ABC's foreign correspondent Britt Clennett has the latest. Hi, Britt.
Well, Diane, this is a serious escalation of a months-long standoff between Thailand and Cambodia, fueled by landmines and growing nationalism, now prompting the U.S. Embassy and Consulate in Thailand to issue a security alert, telling its citizens, its U.S. citizens, of course, living or traveling near the Thailand-Cambodia border to seek information from authorities. Now, this is tensions at that disputed border area breaking out with deadly armed clashes. Both countries are accusing each other of opening fire first early on Thursday near the Ta Mon Tom Temple, more than 200 miles from Bangkok. Now, Thailand accused Cambodia of firing rockets into a Thai village and attacking a hospital, while Thailand has carried out airstrikes on Cambodian military targets, even deploying an F-16 fighter jet. Now, Thailand has closed its entire 500-mile-long border with Cambodia after telling all its citizens there to leave, while Cambodia has downgraded its diplomatic relations with Bangkok, accusing it of using excessive force. Now, while we're probably not talking about a full-scale war at this stage, at the moment there is no sign that either country is actually willing to pull back just yet. The Southeast Asian neighbours, they've had long-standing border disputes and they have flared up in the past, but this is since relations have deteriorated significantly since a confrontation in May that killed a Cambodian soldier. So Thursday's clashes, they are far bigger in scale and intensity than we've ever seen before.
Thai and Cambodian soldiers have fired at each other in multiple contested border areas after the nations downgraded their diplomatic relations in a rapidly escalating dispute. Video from Thai broadcaster TPBS showed people running from their homes and hiding in a concrete bunker Thursday morning amid explosions and gunfire. 3 civilians were injured in the exchanges of fire. Clashes were ongoing in multiple areas. Both Thailand and Cambodia accused each other of firing first. Earlier Thursday, Cambodia said it was downgrading diplomatic relations with Thailand to their lowest level, expelling the Thai ambassador and recalling all Cambodian staff from its embassy in Bangkok. That was in response to Thailand closing its northeastern border crossing with Cambodia, withdrawing its ambassador and expelling the Cambodian ambassador Wednesday to protest a landmine blast that wounded 5 Thai soldiers.
In other news, Iranian forces have warned a U.S. destroyer to stay out of waters claimed by Tehran. The exchange in the Gulf of Oman between the two rivals comes a month after the U.S. carried out strikes against 3 key Iranian nuclear sites during the war between Israel and Islamic Republic. Iranian state TV said Iranian army helicopter flew over the USS Fitzgerald after the vessel attempted to approach the waters under the supervision of Iran. The broadcaster said the destroyer issued threats of its own, but the Iranian pilot reiterated the warning to stay away from Tehran's waters, forcing the U.S. vessel to give in and alter its course. In this video released by Iranian state TV, a destroyer is seen from what seems to be a helicopter window as the pilot calls on the vessel to change course and avoid approaching Iranian territorial waters. A U.S. defense official said the American ship had a safe and professional interaction with an Iranian SS-3 Sea King helicopter while operating in international waters. He added that the interaction had no impact to USS Fitzgerald mission, and any reports claiming otherwise are falsehoods. And this all comes as delegation from the International Atomic Energy Agency is all set to visit Iran within 2 to 3 weeks. And this in a first following Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Confirming the visit, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Gharibabdi, however, said that the group will not have access to country's nuclear sites. Gharibabdi said the visit will focus on establishing new relations with the UN nuclear watchdog. He was speaking at the UN ahead of negotiations in Istanbul with France, Britain and Germany on Friday. The E3 countries are threatening to slap sanctions on Iran over its alleged failure to adhere to its nuclear commitments. Meanwhile, new angles continue to emerge about the 12-day war between Iran and Israel. Amnesty International said on Thursday that Iran fired widely banned cluster munition into populated residential areas in Israel during the war in June. The organization said it analyzed photos and videos showing cluster munitions that reportedly struck inside the Gushtan metropolitan area around Tel Aviv on 19th of June. Now, on top of that, the southern city of Beersheba on 20th of June and Rishon LeZion to the south of Tel Aviv on 22nd of June were also struck with ordnance that left multiple impact craters consistent with the submunitions seen in Gushtan. Erica Guevara Rosas, senior director at Amnesty International, said that by using such weapons in or near populated residential areas, Iranian forces endangered civilian lives, going on to call it a blatant violation of international humanitarian law.